Hey everyone, my name is Jana Garcia and I'm a Diamond Ambassador, and I am so excited because I am interviewing one of my favorite Plexus people, and that is Shannon McCombers. Say hey Shannon.
Hey, Shannon.
Smart aleck too, right?
Oh.
So we are having a day of celebration today because if you do not know, which you should know, that Shannon went Sapphire yesterday.
Woo! Excellent.
And this a day we've been waiting for a long time. And
Yes.
we are just so happy today. And in 2 weeks, we're going to be in Maui and we're going to be able to celebrate with Shannon on the beach. And we're so looking forward to that. But today, I wanted to bring you guys Shannon so I could ask her a few questions, because I know everybody, when somebody makes a huge promotion like that, everybody wants to know, what is she doing? What is her secret? I mean, I've been asked that several times since yesterday. What is she doing? How does she do that? And so I think it's appropriate to bring you on and ask you.
All right.
So I've got some questions for you that I know a lot of people would want to know. The first thing I want to ask you is, what was yesterday like?
Oh my gosh. Well, of course, we've been watching all day, like waiting for the points, and it's like watching paint dry. I think we even said that because you're waiting for the points because we knew it was going to happen. So we just didn't know when or what time of day it was going to happen. And so this is the funny story. And this is what is great about Plexus, though, is that I was literally sitting in the car pickup line, and they were coming out and bringing the kids out as I hit refresh and saw that I was at 3,004, which means I knew I had hit Sapphire. And so here I am being mom in the car pickup line, doing my thing because I'm able to do that because of stay-at-home income with Plexus. And then it just went crazy because I was like messaging Jenna, I was messaging Lou, I was messaging Sarah, letting my people know, that, and Amy Kosmowski, and just let people know, that I hit Sapphire.
And your husband?
He was the last one to know. He didn't know until I actually got home with the kids to have them change their clothes. But because I wasn't on my phone in the car, but I was excited. And so anyways, I get home and it was just my phone was going off the hook. I mean, you can only imagine. It was just ding, 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 ding. It was texting. It was people calling. It was people Facebook messaging. And I mean, it's like finding out all in about 30 seconds how many people love you and support you in this business. And so, I mean, it was very overwhelming and exciting and humbling at the same time, because it wasn't just me hitting Sapphire. It was my entire team hitting Sapphire. So it was 3,000 people rooting and waiting for this moment all month that we've been, our hashtags for the month were rising up and moving mountains. And so that's what we focused on all month, was rising up and moving mountains. And so that's what we did, and we stuck to it. And then it just all hit in like that 1 minute. It just exploded. It was crazy. It was like fireworks going off right here in your face. Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah. And it was way more than 3,000 people, because you have such a major impact on not just your team, but other people. And so there were a lot of people rooting for you on other teams.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
Outside of even my team, like even other jewels on other teams and stuff. And so that says a lot about why you are where you are, is because you have been such a team player.
Right.
So on many, many levels. So I want to ask you, let's tell people that may not know about the ranks. They should know what comes first in a jewel is emerald, and then sapphire, and then diamond. But what exactly does it mean to be a sapphire?
Well, I know for me, going from emerald to sapphire, number one is you basically double your income going from emerald to sapphire, because you double your points. And you do that. And then you also get that jewel bonus. So when you hit sapphire, you get an emerald bonus and you get the sapphire bonus. You don't lose the emerald bonus. You keep the emerald bonus. And then you get the do the Sapphire bonus in addition to that. So, I mean, there's that, of course, but that's becoming Sapphire to me is like, it's just one more step to be getting that final goal of Diamond. So I know now I'm only one step away from that. And that's what I've been working towards since I started 4 years ago. I was like, well, when I started, I didn't want to work the business, but I do now. And I have been for the last 4 years. And so, I mean, Sapphire also to me means that it's the amount of people that you've reached with Plexus and the products. And because it's not just about money, but it's about the amount of people. I look at that now and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's thousands of people because I said yes to Plexus, to getting healthy, that now there's thousands of other people who are affected by that. And so that's pretty overwhelming when you just think about it in those terms as getting Sapphire and the sheer number of people that you've reached up to this point. And and there's still more to come. That's what's crazy. It's exciting.
And it's not just saying yes, but it's working. And, I think that so many people that are watching this or will watch this need to know that, me and you, we were stay-at-home moms. We did not get here just because we signed up. I mean, we worked hard and, but we don't have anything that the ordinary person doesn't have except for work ethic.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And so I want to ask you about that. And I want you to tell people, like, what do you think got you to this place that sets you apart from the people that are not there yet?
I probably have to say there's 3 things that got me to Sapphire. Being bold, not sitting back, always taking the opportunity to speak to people, not necessarily to blow Plexus in their face, but to build relationships. In situations that I normally would sit back and not talk to people, I make myself step forward and build relationships, whether that's at Taekwondo class, whether that's at cheer camp or cheer practice. Building relationships with people, joining the PTO. That's what I asked. In fact, Shannon and I had to delay recording this call because I was working on the newsletter for our Bixby North Intermediate. So, I mean, that's what I do. I get involved. Is that something I normally would do? Probably not, but I know that will help me build connections with lots of people. So being bold, stepping out and doing that. Consistency. Because if you want to do this and you want to be good at it and you want to make it to the top, you have to be consistent. You can't be well, I'm going to do it this week, but I'm not going to do it next week. Or I'm going to take a month off and just sit back and just kind of see how it goes. That will never get you to where you want to be if you want to be a jewel with Plexus. You have to be consistent. And then the third thing is grit. It seriously takes a lot of grit and determination to get there. You have to have a never say die attitude. Like, I don't care how long it takes me. Because with Jan and I were talking about this, that it took me 50 months. So a little over 4 years to get to Sapphire. And I didn't care if it was going to take me 6 years, 8 years, 10 years. I know that my ultimate goal is Diamond. So I know that I have to be bold. I have to be consistent. And I have to have the grit to keep going to get there. And that I will. And the thing is that by me doing that, I'm showing my team how to do that. And so I'm just showing them how to build their business by being bold, being consistent, and having grit to get there. Because the only way I got to where I am today and being Sapphire is because I have a team of people that are using those exact same attributes and growing their business that way too. So, those are the 3 things. I think being bold, being consistent, and having grit, committing to it, not just sitting back and, if it happens, it happens. You can't.
Yeah. And, 4 years is really such a short time because
it is. Oh my gosh.
You think about if you would have went to college for those 4 years, even full time, there's no way you would have been able to make the income that you're making now.
Or, you look at college, okay, if I go to college, I enter college a freshman, right? And maybe I'm working at a local Subway, maybe I'm working at a retail store. I'm maybe making a little over minimum wage. And I'm lucky if I'm bringing in $4,000 or $5,000 a year. And then by the time I graduate and I go out and I get a job, I've got a degree. Like, for instance, my degree, my finance degree, I could go out and get a job making $40,000 to $50,000 a year, right? Okay, when I started Plexus, I think my first check was $250 that first month. Okay, so then this check, my next check, being Sapphire, will probably be around $13,000 or $14,000 a month. So when you look at it that way, in 4 years, I committed 4 years to work hard and be bold, be consistent, grind it out, work every day. So I went from making $275 a month to $15,000 a month, and now multiply that times 12, what you're making in a year. I mean, that's pretty good. So when you think of it in those terms, like 4 years is nothing to give up. And I didn't give up anything. I mean, honestly, let's be honest. I haven't given up friends. I haven't given up my family. I still travel. We go on vacations, mainly because of Plexus money. So, I mean, those are things we couldn't have done without it. So, you know, that's, when you look at it in those terms, 4 years is nothing if you give all you got for those 4 years. And I can honestly say, I've given all I've got in these 4 years. And you can look back over 4 years and say, I did absolutely everything I could. I emptied my bucket. I had a full bucket and I have absolutely emptied it out, got everything out of it I absolutely could. And this is where I'm at right now. So I'll just keep digging more out of that bucket that I can.
Yeah.
Scrape it out.
And I mean, not that we have anything against college. I mean, it's great.
No, absolutely. Everybody should go to college.
Yeah, except for I didn't. I mean, I went for a little bit, but I didn't finish. So that's
right. Everybody has their own path.
I mean, you don't have to have a college degree, right?
No, absolutely no.
So, you know, I think that it's one more thing that I would add to your 3 that I know that you have done, I have done, is that that's just as equal as those great things, because those things are like so true. But the other thing is pouring into people. And I think that I think that that's one piece of the puzzle that a lot of people skip. You know, you can sign people all day long. You can sign customers all day long. You can have high PV and you can have a bunch of level 1s. Right. But if you don't pour into people on the daily basis, like building that relationship, and you have done that so well with your level 1s, the people that wanted to do the business, whether it was part-time or full-time, you have poured into them. And that's what's really brought success, because you can't do it without that piece of the puzzle.
You know, and I think along with that, in order for you to pour into people, you have to be pouring into yourself. And Jana will tell you, my first year, she was like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm just reading a novel, or, you know, not that reading novels are bad, but I wasn't putting back into me. I wasn't reinvesting into myself and having self-development for me. And if you do want to grow in this business, you have to grow with the times. Like any business out there, you have to be up with the times. You have to stay with what's current. And so you have to be able to go with the flow. So if something's not working in your business right now, then that's your job to look at it and go, okay, this isn't flowing right now. What do I need to do to change? Do I need to change my sales techniques? Do I need to change my marketing techniques? Do I need to build stronger relationships? All of that combined works together. And it takes all of that. And I will have to say, over 4 years, I've really had to grow personally in a lot of different areas. And I will say, for me, and Jana, I've said this for several years now, is my ego. Is because when I started, I didn't need anybody to tell me anything. I can run this business. I don't need my upline to tell me what to do. I don't need that. And so those were things that I had to get over, because I had to realize that I did need help, and they were there to serve and to help and to do everything they could. And so I think that's a big part of it too, is checking your attitude and being very coachable. I had to learn to be coachable, because I wasn't when I started, for sure.
Yeah. And the whole working on yourself thing is so true, because if people have been signing people and you have, you know, a good amount of level 1s, but you say, well, there's nobody to pour into because nobody wants to work the business. Well, that tells me that you haven't shown them what there is to work for. You haven't been that cheerleader. You haven't been that motivator because you don't believe in yourself. I mean, you have to work on yourself and believe in yourself, because you need people to, when they sign on, to see the passion that you have and the self-assurance that you have. And you get that, like you said, from pouring into people.
Right.
And from pouring into yourself and growing yourself to that level where when you sign somebody on, you're pouring into that relationship, showing them what can be done with this. And then they're seeing that in you. And then the relationship grows from that. If you've got 50 level ones and none of them want to work the business, that's because they haven't seen the value in it. Because anybody who signs up under me, if they decide they don't want to work the business, it's just because they don't have, they may not have the motivation or the timing not be right. But if they have anything in them that is possible that they might want to even do part-time, I'm going to show them what it means. I'm going to show them, what I'm so passionate about. And so I have a lot of people on my team that are working the business, and Shannon has a lot of that are working the business because of that. They see that in her. They see the dream in her.
Right.
And yes, we work really, really hard, but we were just talking about before we started recording how the freedom of the time, like we don't have to work 8 to 5.
Right.
We can work during the times where our kids are at school, or maybe late at night, or, during our lunch break, whatever that is.
In the car pickup line.
Yeah, even though you're not supposed to be on your phone.
Well, when I'm just sitting there waiting.
Yeah, but the freedom in that is, to me, really the best thing about this whole thing is the freedom and the timing of it all.
Absolutely.
I mean, if I would rather honestly work, not that I do, but I would honestly rather work 10 to 12 hours a day doing it when I want to do it than 4 hours a day on somebody else's time.
Oh yeah. And doing something you love. And it's a lot different when you love and enjoy what you're doing as opposed to doing something you don't enjoy.
Because most of the time it doesn't feel like work.
Right. Yeah.
You're pouring into people and you're building relationships. That's, fun.
Right. That's the fun part. And when you really look at it at work, what are the fun parts of your job at work, at your job? It's the hanging out with the people and the talking to people and, shooting the breeze, going to lunch. Yeah. Those are all things that are fun. And so to me, that's just what we do all the time. We're basically shooting the breeze with people all day, every day.
And knowing that you're bringing them up with you.
Right.
You're not trying to compete at a job for a position. Everyone that you're pouring into is either getting healthy with you or moving up with you if they want to. So, that's, to me, so great about what we do is that it's a constant pouring into others and bringing them up with us.
Absolutely.
So what is your plan now to get to Diamond?
My plan now to get to Diamond is to keep doing exactly what we've been doing. I'm not going to change anything. I'm going to keep, like you said, pouring into people. I'm going to keep pouring into myself. I'm going to keep raising up leaders. Because the most important thing is if you're helping enough people get where they want to be, you don't even have to worry about where you're going because it's just going to happen naturally on its own. So if I'm helping other people get gold, senior gold, ruby, then that's really the most important thing. And so focusing on my people, on my team, investing into them, building relationships with new people, new potentials. I'm going to keep doing that. And having a good time, because if I'm not going to have a good time doing this, then I don't want to do it. So I'm going to keep having a good time.
Just keep working hard. That's what we do.
Right.
So tell me what you're excited about the future of Plexus and where the company is going, where your team is going, just in general, what is your excitement level right now about the future?
When I went to convention this year, I was so excited because we have so much going on. And number one, the products that Plexus is putting out, the quality that they're putting out, the research that they're putting into it. When we started 4 years ago, there was none of that. So, we were just kind of shooting from the hip and we believed in the products and we knew that they were real and that they were really helping people. But now, 4 years later, what we have to stand behind and to say, we have research on this, we have trials on this, Plexus is doing the work for us and giving us the information. And that's not going to stop. That's the thing, is that they're going to continue down that path of providing us the information. And the new back office that's coming, I'm absolutely thrilled about the new back office that's coming because number one, Plexus is designing it. So we know that they are designing it specifically for Plexus ambassadors. It's not just a system that's been designed for network marketing companies in general. This is a system designed by Plexus for Plexus and ambassadors. And so I'm excited about it. I know that it's kind of nerve-wracking to think about getting another new back office, but I'm honestly excited about it because it's changed most definitely, but I think that it's really going to push us into where we need to go as a company in the upcoming years. I mean, we are only at 600,000 ambassadors total, and most companies around the world, network marketing companies, anything below 1 million is considered ground floor. So we are still ground floor, and so this is definitely the time to get into the business, and Plexus is just setting the platform for us to expand and to grow and to explode. And so if people will just get into this, grab the vision that Plexus has set before us and run with it and don't look back, it's going to be huge. I mean, massive. I'm excited about it in the next couple of years. I mean, 4 years ago, if you would have told me where we are now, I'd been like, there's no way. We're having conventions in Vegas, and I'm going on my 3rd trip to Hawaii. I mean, I've been like, no way, whatever. But I mean, just imagine, this has just been 4 years for me. I can't imagine where the next 4 years and what that's going to bring. So even if you're starting on this journey right now and you're new, just get ready, because the next 4 years are going to be huge in your life if you commit to it and go all in and empty that bucket. So go big.
On that note, how important is it for people to start planning now to go to Super Saturday and Convention 2000?
Oh my gosh, leaders are born at events. I can tell you that my first convention, that was my first big thing to go to. Well, I think I went to Super Saturday with Shannon, and I loved it. So that kind of got me excited. Start planning now. As soon as they launch those dates, you have to put that in your calendar, and no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You get your butt there. Don't sit back, well, I don't have time, or I can't take off work. Do what you can. Do whatever you got to do to get there, to go to Super Saturday and to plan for convention, because it will change your life. I mean, these events will stir you to the core, and it's worth every penny to me. It's an investment in my future. It's an investment in my kids' future. It's an investment in my family's future. That's how I see it, is yes, I have to spend money to go, but you got to spend money to make money sometimes. And I'm willing to do that because of what that's going to bring to the table for me. Number one, what it's going to invest in me personally and my self-development, and how to go back and use that and apply it to my team. So make it now. I mean, don't even refuse to not go. That should be your mantra. I refuse to not go to Super Saturday and Convention.
Because you've seen firsthand what it does.
Oh, it changed me. When I went to convention that first time, that was it. I mean, I saw Sarah Marble up there for the first time, and I was like, oh my God, Sarah Marble. And so, I mean, that was like, this is it. These people are real. These aren't just fake people on Facebook. These are like real people living the life, believing in the dream. And I'm like, I was sold out, obviously.
Yeah. In case you don't know, Super Saturday is in January. It's usually the first Saturday in January, not New Year's Eve or anything, but the week after that. And then convention is in late May, early June. We don't have the dates yet, I don't think, on those.
My guess is we find out in Maui. They may tell us.
We'll find out pretty soon. But as soon as those dates come out, mark it on your calendar, figure out how you're going to make it happen. But super important for your business. And if you want to do this, whether it's part-time or full-time, you want this to be part of your future, part of your plan, then make it happen.
Right.
Make it
happen.
Saturday is really easy to get to because they always have it. They have, I don't know how many, 40 locations all over the
United States. There's no excuse to not get somewhere.
Yeah. They make it in a big city and close to, as many cities as they possibly can. And everyone gets the same training. It's an all day of training. It's free. And it's so worth your time to just make the plan, mark off the day on your calendar, and just say, I'm going.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll be there.
Yeah, me too. All right. Thanks, Shannon, so much. Again, congratulations.
Thank you.
We're so excited, and thanks for doing the call with me, and we will post this in the groups a little bit later, and hopefully everybody will get a chance to watch it. But thanks so much for coming on with me.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.